Clay Holmes makes his way out. Saw a lot of Albies in the NL East last year with the New York Mets after he transitioned from a closer to a starter. He gets Harry Ford to bounce one slowly to third to Bregman, and he'll throw out Ford for the first out in the big leagues last year. There's B.J. Murray, who's played a nice first base so far. He takes a strike. Quickly, 0-2. Nice changeup there from Holmes.
That was a new pitch he learned last year going into the season. That really changed his game. When he first came up in Pittsburgh, it was all about trying to find the strike zone. And then when he goes over to New York, it was all about locating that sinker. He did. And then when he added that changeup, that really changed his game. He was able to make those starts more effective.
Two-time All-Star now at the big league level. Used that changeup effectively. Opponents only hit 200 off of that change last year. And essentially the first time he'd been utilizing that pitch, obviously expanding the repertoire to throw the amount of innings he pitched last year. 165 innings last year for a former closer, who throws another diving changeup to get a swing.
Has to throw fastballs to get ready for the season. It's an interesting dynamic on how much are you getting in work and how much are you trying to literally win the game.
Robinson checks his swing. That's part of the balancing act for Mark DeRosa. Wayno, you went through that a few years ago as well as part of Team USA.
Yeah, it is. AJ said it best, man. You have to go out here and get some things done that you need working on to get ready for the season.
Oof.
But you can't help, once you've got that USA on your chest, you can't help but to try to win the game. So as this tournament goes further and further, you're going to see guys throw more of their out stuff. But they'll also become more effective each start. But they have probably 3 more starts in spring training. So they have some time, but right now they're working. You know, they want to win, but they absolutely have to work on stuff.
1-2 pitch to Robinson, sails outside, 2-2 the count. And the intensity of each game always seems to climb. 4 games in pool play. U.S. expected to get into the knockout rounds, and as soon as you get into single elimination, boy, the stakes feel so high. Good sinker that time. Grounded out his first time up against Skubal. Now faces the righty Holmes and fouls it away.
I guarantee they went back 20 innings and said you got to see the ball up off of Clay Holmes. If it starts down, it's going to end down, and you are not getting under that sinker or change up down.
There's an 0-2. Johnson was at AAA Louisville in the Cincinnati organization last year. One-two pitch, and he goes down swinging. The tag applied by Smith. That's already 3 strikeouts in a row now. Riley, who struck out against Skubal his first time. Wiley, a 29-year-old from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Minor league baseball journeyman whose mother Cheryl is from Trinidad and Tobago, so as part of the Commonwealth, has British ancestry. Check swing. He went around, and it's 1-2 on Wiley.
Clay Holmes looks sharp.
Yep.
He looks mid-season form. I'm going to ask this again. When does he start getting nervous? He said he's not nervous yet. We're into the 5th here. When do we start getting nervous?
He's standing up now.
Waved on and missed. Boy, that'll calm you down if you're a manager. Mark DeRosa throwing Clay Holmes out there to back up Skubal, and he has been very sharp. 5 up, 5 down, 4 straight strikeouts.
That pitch right there in particular is so important for him, because as a right-handed hitter or left-handed hitter, everything that Clay Holmes you think he's going to throw is going to move towards third base. Effective, like the sweeper that goes away from the righty into the lefty, throws you off your game completely. That's a great pitch for him.
Trace Thompson, who's got the defensive highlight of the game so far, watches that slider clip the corner. That sweeper gets the call, and it's quickly 0-2 on Thompson. He's got a WBC home run in his career 3 years ago. The man next to me just shifted uncomfortably in his chair because it was. That's through Holmes. Henderson's there, and he swings it to first.
Teammates were members of Team USA: Aaron Judge, Paul Goldschmidt, David Bednar. Judge is one of the guys who, of course, Jazz likes to tease and get along with. He said that they've been giving me the hardest time, saying you're only there until March 12th. You're going to be gone. For half the game, Jazz was looking good. I'm not so sure now.
Will be going into his second full season with the Yankees after he was traded in July of 2024. Jazz flips one foul and out of play. 1-2 the count.
I saw him working in batting practice today, trying to hit those Crawford boxes as much as he could. That's probably the danger here, throwing that sinker away to Jazz, is him being able to drive that ball to left field.
Yeah, but you got to get it in the air.
Something that's very difficult to do against Clay Holmes, and now he uses the sweeper to punch out Jazz Chisholm. That is already 6 strikeouts for Holmes.
Boy, that's nasty. Whew. That's super nasty, especially after that sinker that's just shooting away from him to come back to have some driving in on him like that.